Your first thought upon hearing the name I Love Lucy is probably of the legendary duo of Lucy and Ricky Ricardo. However, another iconic actress, Vivian Vance, who played Ethel Mertz, was behind Lucy's famous antics. Fans loved her quirky, loving relationship with Lucy and her humorous moments. But there's a lot more to Vivian Vance than meets the eye. Off-screen, Vivian's life is just as interesting, from the struggles she has had as a person to the unexpected career path she has taken. Keep reading, because you never know what you're about to learn about Vivian Vance. Listen all the way to the end, because you definitely don't want to miss this. When it premiered in 1951, I Love Lucy was an immediate smash and quickly cemented its place as one of the most beloved television series of all time. Even though Lucille Ball stole the show as the vivacious and endearing Lucy Ricardo, the show couldn't have worked without Vivian Vance, who played Ethel Mertz. Ethel, Lucy's best friend and neighbor, brought a unique energy to the show since she was realistic, down to earth, and the perfect balance to Lucy's untamed personality. Despite Vivian Vance's moderate screen fame, many moviegoers know very little about the actress or her career. To uncover some shocking facts regarding the life of Vivian Vance, we will be taking a deep look at the woman behind Ethel Mertz in today's show. And shall we proceed immediately? Long before I Love Lucy, Vivian Vance was already well known for her talent as a performer. Her early devotion to the arts shaped Vance, who was born on July 26, 1909 in Cherryville, Kansas. She moved to New York in quest of a career in music after studying theater. Several performances highlighted Vivian, who was driven and talented when she came at Broadway. However, it wasn't until she played Ethel on I Love Lucy that she truly rose to fame. Before her breakout performance, Vance was a classically trained vocalist who had participated in a number of theater productions. She gained reputation in the entertainment industry with her debut performance in the Broadway production of Call Me Mr. Vivian was a versatile performer who could switch between dramatic roles, comedic roles, and musical numbers with ease. Nevertheless, she was later known more for her comedic performances. It wasn't always simple behind the scenes, even though Vivian Vance became a popular character on I Love Lucy due to her depiction of Ethel Mertz. Despite her passion for the role of Ethel, Vance struggled with her physical appearance, which was overshadowed by Lucille Ball and her co-stars. In the past, she was sometimes called Lucy's sidekick, and she was sometimes criticized for being paired with Lucy, who played an extravagant part and played the more normal role. It was difficult to appreciate Vivian's inherent beauty and grace as Ethel because of the heavy makeup and costumes designed to make her look older and more scruffy than she actually was. The fact that Vivian was actually much younger than she appeared on TV is, however, unknown to many. Lucille Ball was in her 50s when filming took place, but she was 10 years younger in her early 40s. Being the older, more matronly character wasn't always easy for Vivian, and the age gap between them was a source of tension on set. Still, she embraced her role to the fullest, imbuing Ethel with an approachability and comedy that contributed greatly to the show's success. Although their off-screen connection was solid, Lucille Ball and the two women had their share of rocky patches. Even back then, their bond was often tested by the strains of working on such a prominent show. On set, Lucille, who is known for being a perfectionist, could be rather demanding, which occasionally caused problems for the other performers. When asked about her discontent with her role and the constant comparisons to Lucy, the normally more relaxed and accommodating Vivian did admit it. Regardless of their disagreements, Vivian could never stop gushing over Lucille and her incredible talents. When Lucille was criticized for not having the acting chops of other big actresses of the day, Vivian allegedly stepped in to defend her. Their friendship made it through a lot of tough times, and Lucille's admiration for Vivian's acting skills shone through. Lucille went so far as to try to land Vivian a role in a new project when I Love Lucy ended, but it never materialized. Having two marriages that were publicized throughout Vivian Vance's career added some excitement to her already hectic personal life. In 1941, she wed Philip Ober, who had been her first mate. They remained a pair for 10 years till their marriage ended in divorce in 1953. It was already a year after the premiere of I Love Lucy when Vivian had to juggle the demands of her rapidly expanding career with her personal life. Her marriage to John Dodds, her second husband, was also short-lived. They tied the knot in the early 1960s, but it was short-lived. They filed for a divorce shortly after. Many people found fault with Vivian's romantic relationships, and she seemed to struggle to find true happiness in her own life. Despite everything, Vivian never lost sight of her career in television and film. After I Love Lucy ended in 1960, Vivian Vance continued to act in TV shows and movies, but none of her roles were as famous as Ethel Mertz. The Bob Cummings Show, Here's Lucy, and The Lucy Show were just a few of the popular shows on which she frequently reprised her role as a crazy best friend. While Vivian did have other parts in her career, she was most known for her work on I Love Lucy. Vivian Vance passed away in 1979 when she was 70 years old. Her later years may have been quiet, but her status as one of the first great television sidekicks will live on. Her portrayal as Ethel Mertz is widely regarded as one of the most iconic supporting characters in television history. She can stand out even when surrounded by bigger performers, has impeccable comic timing, and is very committed to her craft. Skill, perseverance, and shocking depth characterize Vivian Vance's story. Even though her role as the endearing Ethel Mertz on I Love Lucy is her most famous, there is a lot more to her than meets the eye. From her humble beginnings on Broadway to her troubled relationships and conflicts with her on-screen persona, Vivian had quite the journey. Despite this, she maintained her professionalism and was an integral part of one of the most beloved television series of all time. We hope that this film gives you a deeper appreciation for Vivian Vance, the lady behind Ethel Mertz, even if you were unaware of her before seeing it. Also, remember that sometimes the characters' backstories are just as interesting as the people themselves. Please subscribe for more stories set in the golden age of Hollywood and hit that like, comment, and subscribe button.